Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and in this video I'll be showing you how to make a simple browser extension and it can remove the thumbnails and images from YouTube. So basically whenever you open up YouTube and you want to search any tutorial or any learning stuff, you just get recommended by a lot of YouTube thumbnails and you just start watching them and you waste your time, also lose your focus. So you can just make a basic extension and that can remove YouTube thumbnails, and this is the extension I made. And if I click on this, it will just replace all the thumbnails with basic image. So how to make this extension? So extension is basically a simple web page that can add new functionality to your browser. And to make an extension you need a manifest.json file that will tell all the details about the extension, and along with that you can add any HTML or JS file with it. So let's start making the extension. Right, I'll make a new folder inside my desktop. So I'll just open up this folder and I'll just open VS Code from here. So I'll make a new file that is manifest.json and it is required to make a browser extension. So I'll copy this boilerplate code and inside VS Code we'll just paste it here inside the manifest.json file. I'll not change it. And so after pasting this manifest.json boilerplate code, you need to change the details according to your extension. So the manifest version is the default version of Chrome extensions, so you don't need to change this manifest version. And this is basically the extension name you want to provide. So my extension name is minimal destruction. Now you need to put description for your application. Basically what your application does, you can write it here. Inside the description you can write down what your extension does. Now the version code. So basically I am making this extension for the first time, so I'll not change it. It will be 1.2. After that, if I want to update it, I can just change the version number. And these are the icon list you want to provide for your extension. So I'll not use any icons. I'll remove it. It is the main part, that is content underscore scripts. Inside this content scripts, here you need to provide the actual link where your extension will work. So this extension is basically for YouTube, so I'll provide YouTube link. I'll put a relative URL, so inside every YouTube tab it will work, and this is what a relative URL looks like. Now I need to add a JavaScript file. I'll copy this name and make a new file. Inside this console.log I'll put inside this console.log I'll write extension is working. So to modify something inside the YouTube HTML, we need to add some permissions. Now our manifest.json is finally ready and we need to write logic inside content.js. First I'll write a method that will replace the thumbnails with our custom images. Now inside this method, first we need to select all the image elements. So I'll be selecting image tag for this. So this const.thumbnails will store all the image tag that is present inside our YouTube HTML element. Now we need to traverse through all the images and we need to replace all the images, right? So I'll use one for each loop to replace all the images that are present inside this thumbnail variable. Now inside this for each loop, we'll change the image that is present inside this thumbnail variable, right? We have a lot of image tags inside this thumbnail element. So basically this is the method that will replace all the images with this link. So we need to call this method and I think it will call this method. Now to check if our program is going in right direction or the flow of the program is good, I will use console.log here. Inside this I'll print thumbnails found, and what I'll do, I'll print the number of thumbnails that are present inside this variable. I'll use thumbnail.length, so it will print how many images are present inside this variable. And inside this for each loop I'll also use this console log to check if it is replacing the thumbnails or not. Okay, now I'll run this code and check if it is working or not. To test your browser extension, you need to import your extension inside any of your browsers. So I'll use Chrome browser, and inside Chrome I'll open up extension tab. Inside extension we have manage extensions button. I'll click on it and you can find this developer mode. Just click on here and you will turn on developer mode and you will find these three options: because my extension is inside a folder, so I'll click on this load unpacked option, and now I'll choose the folder that has all the files. So this is my extension folder. I'll open this extension. Now I'll click on this select folder option, and you can see that our extension is added to our browser. And you can see that this is not actually changing the thumbnails, right? So how to fix that issue? So the thing is, YouTube renders it elements dynamically. So to solve this issue, we need mutation observer. Basically, mutation observer observes if any changes happening inside this browser's HTML element, and if any changes occurs, it will call this replace thumbnail function again. So we'll do that thing. So I'm making a observer variable. Inside that we'll store the mutation observer object, and inside the mutation observer constructor we'll pass replace thumbnails. So whenever any changes is happening inside the HTML element, it will observe and it will call this method. Now we need to pass the HTML body and all the child tags and subtree inside this. Now we have stored this object inside this observer variable, and now we can call observe function, and inside this we'll pass document dot body. We'll pass the HTML body, and we'll also pass child list and subtree. Now we can reload our extension and check if things are working correctly or not. Yeah, so we are done. So if you find this useful, let me know in the comment section, and thanks for watching this video.